Learning in the 21st century looks a little different than it did many years ago. Students explain their thinking, use technology, incorporate creativity, problem solve, communicate, and collaborate with their peers. Here's a look at some of the things the students in Haddon Township are doing as learners in the 21st century. 20th century learners take responsibility for their own learning. Here's an example of a student using his iPad and a QR code to find out information. In addition to taking responsibility for their learning, many of our students are typing assignments using Pages and Google Docs and writing their essays and then emailing them to their teachers for feedback. Sometimes students demonstrate their understanding by presenting videos and slideshows to explain concepts they have learned. This student explains landforms after learning about them during science class.
This is a canyon. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Canyons are V-shaped valleys. Plateaus are mountains that are flat. This is a valley, a low area between hills. This is a basin, a low area where sediments also settle. This is a meander, a curved relief in a river. This is a floodplain, the land that gets covered by water.
Watch as Keegan explains her thinking by demonstrating how to prime factorize the number 72.
For the first problem, we'll start off with a number of 72. So you have to think about two numbers that can multiply to equal 72 that are the closest, so 8 and 9. Next, you have to think about what two numbers go into 8 that are the closest, 4 and 2. Then you need to think about what goes into 9, 3 and 3. Then you look at the numbers below, 4, 2, 3, and 3. 2, 3, and 3 are all prime numbers, so you need to think about what goes into 4, 2, and 2. So you already know that 2 is a prime number, so your prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, or 2 to the third power times 3 to the second power.
In Haddon Township, we start early with our children thinking critically and using higher order thinking skills. Watch as first graders show their stuff. Next, we have a first grader demonstrating her thinking. She's breaking a word with a digraph so she can understand how she would pronounce it or decode it.
How would you solve this word?
I would break it in half like that, and I would add it like this. Thing.
Another way we get kids to critically think is to find words on a word wall in their classroom.
Find the word all. Great job. Find the word friend. Great job.
Watch as Luke shows his thinking on a first grade math problem.
An adult and a child measured the same thing with their feet. Why might they get different answers? Well, I know that because a parent's foot could be this big, a child's foot could be this small. And they have different sizes because they're bigger. And the different sizes they are, if they're bigger, they'll get smaller numbers. If they're smaller numbers, they'll get bigger numbers. So that's how I did it, and if you have any other way, you can just tell me when you see the video. Bye.
We often ask our students to apply knowledge and concepts to a larger product. For example, students in grade 5 had to create a real estate ad for a Native American home based on the region they studied. Using Pic Collage, students created the following real estate ad. If you're looking for one of the best teepees in the Plains region, then this is your tent with the fresh buffalo skin and the best bark to hold up your teepee. Tired of annoying neighbors? Well, not anymore. You can bring this teepee wherever you want. Students took the information, analyzed it, synthesized it, and were able to come up with a product that clearly showed their understanding. After a guided reading group of Mick Hart was here, students completed a traditional book report using a directive rubric and the iPad app Pic Collage. Enthusiasm was on high gear with this activity, and the discussions that resulted from the understandings the students were processing made for a fun yet engaging learning activity. One of the new shifts with the Common Core standards is to expose kids to more nonfiction text. Many teachers in Haddon Township use websites such as Wonderopolis and Newsomatic to share nonfiction stories with their students. One of the ways we have children explain their understanding and analyze information is by responding to reading. KidBlog is a great way for kids to blog and share their ideas with each other. Max wrote his thoughts down about the early stages of the book Out of My Mind. Ellie then responds. Throughout the book, the students will have a give and take conversation about their thoughts and ideas. Here's an example of the kinds of problem-solving questions students are being asked to solve. There are many parts to the question, and students need to dissect the parts in order to come up with a real-life solution. We often hear that parents and educators sometimes are concerned that with the Common Core, students will lose their creativity and individuality. Watch as two girls use their skills and knowledge and apply concepts to an activity where they had to create their own commercial. As you'll see, these two young ladies have not lost their creativity, individuality, or originality.
Pure, pure! Oh no! I spilled water all over myself. I wish I had brought an extra outfit. Not to fear. Here's the PDR. What's a PDR? It's a pop-up dressing room. What does it do? You pull it out of your back pocket and bam, you have a dressing room. Whether you hate your outfit or you spilled water all over yourself in your case, you can get changed immediately. Only $19.99. This is great for when you have a party and your shoes really hurt and your dress is sort of tight. You can just change into a looser dress and then you'll be happy. And all you need is your PDR, your pop-up or portable dressing room. Wow!
Incorporating creativity and connecting it to real life is another way we are working with our students in the 21st century. Students at Strawbridge School created advertisements for Severino pasta. After discussing and learning about advertising techniques, the students created their own print ads, and Mr. Severino is going to choose one to use in local advertising. Communicating and collaborating, working together, sharing your thoughts, higher level thinking skills are all ways we're preparing the students of Haddon Township to be critical thinkers. It's not just about a test, it's about making our children ready for the future.